round the wicket.
You were mentioning the other batters to follow, but ideally you'd like them to come in with less to do, maybe 60 runs, maybe 70 runs, not with 110. That's far too much for the lower middle order to come in and make an impact.
Well, if you're watching our coverage of the double-header from the NatWest Blast at Lord's on Saturday, you would have seen Ravi Bopara finishing the innings brilliantly for Essex along with Mark Patini. Not quite as much to do on Saturday at the home of cricket as there looks like being here the other side of the river. Oh, looking to use his feet and launch Senanayake. Fancy they think this one's got to go for a few boundaries.
They have to make the play, because even this one, big grip. Saw Lasith Malinga's slower balls also grip. That'll give the Sri Lankan bowlers more confidence.
Hales down the track, but rather telegraph that to Senanayake. They're going to come back for two because it split the gap between Lasith Malinga and Pereira.
Poor from Malinga though, from short fine leg. He should have been going for that one.
He's got a lot on his mind. Captain, hasn't captained often.
He's just been appointed the captain, though he did lead Sri Lanka in the last 3 games.
Straight down the ground, hit hard, little bit of cut fade, and he gets a boundary, much needed from England.
Top shot. Really good shot. Made an effort to get to it. Knew exactly where he wanted to hit it.
Oh, Malinga does well this time. Saved a certain boundary. 84 for 3.
Do you believe there is a place in the shadows?
That sounds like you want it.
It's an invitation. Suspend your disbelief and dwell with me.
Danny Dreadful starts tonight at 9 on Sky Atlantic HD. I'll watch it now on demand.
England need exactly 100 off the 9 overs that remain in this game. It's a required rate of 11.1. % chance of being successful, suggests Wasps. So, Sara Pereira to bowl his second over from the Vauxhall end. First over only went to 6. Not a lot of cutters, but now Hales has got the short boundary on his leg side. So how will Pereira go here? Yorker's outside off stump. Good tactics. Beautifully executed Yorker, that one.
Very impressive. The variations are changing. The type of bowling also considering the dimensions of the ground. The longer boundary is bowling the slower balls. With the shorter boundary, the plan seems to be just get the ball in the block hole. Malinga, though it might not seem so, has a good head on his shoulders. Knows exactly what he's doing and doesn't say much, but makes a lot of sense, the few words he does say in the dressing room or to the players.
Can't get it through. They're very narrow there, the two fielders. Quite an unusual position. Got a deepish fine backward point, and cover, who started in front of square, just pushed himself behind square as the bowler was walking in, running in, and he was walking in, to try and narrow that gap down.
Use the angle. Tisara Pereira probably go wide of the crease, bowl it across the left-hander.
Full toss, chip down the ground as he carried. Oh, what a good catch. What a really good catch. They are the hardest to take, running forward, taking the ball just above your bootlaces. That's brilliant.
Suranga Lakmal took his time to get underneath that. Didn't need the dive if he judged it early enough. A great take in the end. Was bowling the angle. Morgan is adjusting his body played square of the wicket and only could end up bowling out to long off. Morgan for 5, that's a big one. 85 for 4.
Excellent catch. Really difficult to judge. Have to be quite brave as well. You misjudge it, you can bounce and you can cop it on the nose, you can jam your finger into the soil. As you say though, Russell, he just took his time and he just steadied himself, made sure he had a good look at it, balanced, boom, and then he went for it. Brilliant. Excellent. Joss Buttler with a lot to do as he comes in at number 6. Hales and Morgan cross, so Buttler will be at the non-strikers end with a batting index of 155. That's good. You have to get into his stride quickly. You need 11.5 and over. Flashed away too wide from Pereira. Good shot from Hales. Didn't try and overhit it. And 1,000 runs in international T20 cricket for Alex Hales.
He's quietly finding his range. The timing's coming back and he's using every area of the ground. The third Englishman to get 2,000 runs in T20 internationals.
He's 44 not out. He's only faced 28 deliveries. So he's been in nearly an hour from the start of the innings, start of the strike.
Yeah, this is a big wicket. The field set square of the wicket. Morgan trying to get close enough and hit it straighter. The length not there and could only chip it in the air for Suranga Lakmal. Probably one of the best catches that he's taken.
Butler pokes his first ball out to the point boundary to get off the mark. And England to 91 for 4. So Senanayaka's bowled 2. Sara Pereira's bowled 2. These are the Sri Lankan bowling figures. Crucially, Lasith Malinga has 2 to go. So 8 overs remain, 2 of which will be bowled by Malinga. How will he plan this one out, do you think?
Plenty of spin. Senanayaka has a couple of overs. He's also got Dilshan up his sleeve. Take the pace off. We've seen the ball grip. He'll hold Kulasekara back to bowl the 2 along with Malinga himself. So that would mean he's got to get through another 4 overs.
I was looking at that. His bankers will be himself, Kulasekara. What does he do in the next 4 up to over 16? How does he attack Buttler? Well, Senanayaka is round the wicket to Buttler.
Now, we mentioned before that Sri Lanka have played 9 T20 internationals before this one. Won 8, beaten England twice. On each occasion they've played them here in England. And when defending runs, whenever they've scored 150 out of the last 22 times, they've successfully defended it 19 times. Lost to India twice, and of course to England the last time these 2 teams did meet. Required rate almost up to 12.
Reverse sweep hard, Buttler special, cracking shot.
Brilliant shot. Asks lots of questions from the bowler. How does he react? Hold it slow. Right at his pads. If another batsman, if he'd not played the reverse sweep, would have just knocked it around for a single, and Senanayaka would have taken it. But not Buttler. He's got options.
Another fielder comes across to the offside, backward point where that ball went. Where does Buttler go now? The ball's out on the offside.
Mentioned the required rate, 11.6. Wouldn't be an issue if the English batsman hadn't seen the ball grip on this pitch.
Oh, yeah.
So last ball of the 13th over, and Alex Hales is 46 not out. Again, he's only faced 30 deliveries. So his strike rate is excellent, 153. Acres of room to take a single on the leg side, if he chooses. Oh! Goes for something more elaborate and misses. 98 for 4, 13 gone. .86 needed. This will be a tough one for England to win from here. Talk you through the end of the game. Nasser Hussain and David.
Wasp has nearly been flitted. .46 from 31 from Alex Hales. Josh Butler done it before. 7 from 5. Boundary count is 9 fours and 1 6 after 13 overs. A lot of guile in this game. Pace variation. Got to change your pace. Look at the slower balls. Ball by Sri Lanka's seamers.
Yeah, very good. They're almost like they learnt from Gurney a little bit. The way Gurney bowled. Gurney had fantastic figures for England, varied his place, a lot of slower balls. And that's exactly what Sri Lanka have done. Likes of Angelo Matthews in particular. Malinga always bowls slower balls.
Mentioned 9 fours and 1 6 at this stage for England. Sri Lanka 12 fours, 3 6s at this stage. There's that boundary count again. Full length Yorker just dabbed into the leg side, get a single. Required rate is 12.44. England have got to 100 for 4.
Yeah, not only is the required rate up at 12.6, but Malinga has 2 overs left. He very rarely goes round the park at over 10 runs and over.
It's in the slot into the offside. It won't reach the boundary, just be 2. And Sri Lanka 61 after the last 5 overs. Got away from England. 183 for 7. Well, that's lovely. 33 the offside at a cricket shot. Timing.
He's got good hands, Butler. Talk about the timing and the placement. Fast hands through the ball. Far off being a Yorker, but he just gets his hands through the ball, finds the gap.
He's got to make England, make Sri Lanka work, make Malinga do something different. Well, he's changed the field here. Mid-off drops back. Third man comes inside the circle. Make him work, Malinga. Timed again. He's timed the pants off it.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries, beautifully played. Shows you don't have to overhit. This is a good pitch. It's a quick outfield. And it really has to come down to these 2 young guns and Bopara to try and get England close. Not an easy ground to protect this, you never know. Get some boundaries, get some pressure back on Sri Lanka.
Still 12 and over. England have got the 12 so far, one delivery to go in this 14th. Slow Yorker just dabbed leg side for a single. It's 111 for 4. Sri Lanka 14 overs were 122 for 5, and there was a blitz coming. Sara Pereira was sensational for Sri Lanka. 49 off 20 deliveries, so 111 for 4. 73 required from 36.
And he's got to find 2 overs, Malinga. He knows he's going to have 2 from Kulaseka, going to have 2 from himself. Needs to find a couple of overs. Senanayake has been reasonably expensive. Lakmal has been expensive. So he is going to go for the extra bowler. He's going to go for Pereira. Reluctant bowler. 2 overs, 1 for 13. So he's going to try and sneak through a couple of overs from him.
Got a partnership going, Hales and Butler, 26 from 15. Local time, he's just coming up to 10 to 9. Bit of Queen, banging out. Oh, that's good bowling. Oh, is that slow?
Yeah, that was just a battle of the gut feelings. Butler had fine leg and third man up. So I think the bowler had a gut feeling that the Butler scoop was coming, so he bowled a slower ball. He was right. Good, clever cricket. Even if he'd got that, Butler, I'm not sure he'd have got it past fine leg. No pace on the ball.
Batted into the offside. Oh, powerfully, he's gone for 4.
Spin. Often in the field you'll shout spin to the man in the deep. It always spins back towards him. He just overran it. He was almost too quick. Kushal Pereira at deep point. Watch the way the ball will spin, maybe on the second bounce. Just there, it starts to tweak the other way and he's run past it.
Just starting to take England. Partnership 30 from 17. Slow ball again, powerful into the offside. That's a stinger to mid-wicket, just a single. There's that slower again, driven down the ground. Oh, he gets it through. 50 for Hales.
Very fine innings. He's been starved of a strike. He's only had 33 deliveries in 14 and a half overs. But he follows up 100, that wonderful 100 against Sri Lanka in Chittagong, with a half century at the Oval. Loves playing against the Sri Lankans.
Great shot there. He was flitting round the field. Where's he looking? Slow it, they all count. Just a little inside edge. This is intelligent bowling. He's gone for 9 so far. 10 Pereira in these first 5 deliveries, but that's another slower delivery, and this time he pumps it down the ground. So 52 from 34. 6 fours, 1 6. Alex Hales. Butler on strike. Scramble for 2, it'll just be a single. 15 overs have been bowled. It's 122 for 4.
52, 34 deliveries. Played beautifully. Hasn't had to strike much. Had a little bit of luck at top edge. Started slowly. First 5 deliveries, just 1 run. Short arm jab, very strong man. Played Senanayake really well, mainly off the back foot. That was his best shot off Malinga. Thrashed the ball straight down the ground. He's hit predominantly in the V. Good, strong player.
Malinga is on his own on that leg side inside the circle. And it's important, I mentioned, that make him work. He's not captain that often. Make it difficult for him. Yeah, what's he going to do? He brings fine leg, that short boundary. Fine leg is going to come inside the circle. Third man drops back.
Can we have a repeat performance from Hales? In that game in Chittagong, Sri Lanka were bowling with a wet ball, heavy dew, but a dry ball here, no dew. And go through their skills of slower balls and Yorkers.
Tactically, what we've seen from Sri Lanka in the past is that full ball, as we've just seen, full and wide. Malinga is a great exponent, but we saw it also from Jordan until it went completely haywire for England.
Third man's up. Butler does play the reverse Dav, which if he is going to bowl wide is an option. Look at those two men behind square on the offside. Although he might just target the shorter boundary hitting to the leg.
Has he got enough of that? I don't think he has. No, he's gone. Caught mid-wicket. He's clothed it straight to Dilshan.
He'll be really disappointed. That was right in the slot. A low full toss to the shorter boundary. And he has a look at the toe of his bat. Oh, right off the toe end. Shorter boundary. And he clothed it. Dilshan too good a fielder to drop that. Just stays in the fingertips. And England's finisher, Jos Buttler, has gone for 26, 124 for 5.